Good day. It's Coach Erica, Arthur China T. I hope y'all feeling my new little look. Our next topic, we are on episode 5, and we are further moving down our agenda for Never Date Just Once Us. We already started this a couple of episodes ago. I was going to get our ladies to stop investing in one man and start investing in multiple options so that they can be closer to finding their one versus just settling for someone. So we're going to go ahead into our next lesson today, and it's all about all the eggs in one basket theory. I know a lot of times people be claiming they created something and whatever, but listen, this eggs in one basket theory that I created was definitely top tier. Because it's just what it is. So basically, imagine yourself, you and a few other people Easter egg hunting, and everybody's going around collecting eggs and putting them in one basket. So you just got one basket, you collected some eggs, you put them in that one basket, okay? And then you just happy with your findings, and you go ahead and you go and you share those findings with someone. But then those, when you start opening those eggs, some of those eggs don't have anything in them. They just plain eggs and maybe some toy in there. They don't have candies in there. Whatever the case is, this is what happens when you start cracking your eggs and getting into all of your eggs. You're going to be able to see that a lot of those eggs don't have anything in the inside. They have been wasted. So all eggs in one basket. Now you got some rotten eggs, some good eggs, and they all in one basket. And then as soon as something happens and something goes wrong, all of those eggs are cracked or they're of no use, and then you're back with the empty basket starting over from the beginning. This is the theory of all the eggs in one basket. Because had there been multiple baskets with multiple eggs, then if there had been any trouble in one basket with one egg, and it wouldn't have not translated or transferred over to another basket with a different egg. If all eggs are in one basket, what are we doing? Okay, so now imagine this: you met somebody new, and the chemistry is like on point. Like y'all vibing. The conversation is great. Everything is just, you think it's just like, here you go. A woman's mind goes immediately to he's the one. One great conversation, a couple of great interactions, and it's just like she wants to move freely forward really quickly too. The conversations are smooth. There's an instant connection. It's mad easy to start thinking about a future together with this person, because that's all that woman gonna be doing. She's been vibing with this man so much, and it's only been a couple of days, and now she start thinking about where they would be in 6 months, where they're gonna be in a year. Start thinking about inviting him to family outings. All of these things she's doing so quickly, just off this instant connection that you feel like is so real. Okay. She starts planning these cute dates and starting to, get down and she think it's going to lock the man in. But wait a minute. What happens when she does all of this and this man makes it clear that he is not trying to lock down with her? What happens then? She did all of these things, and now she about to have some hurt feelings because she assumed that this one great interaction was going to lead to future interactions, bunches of future interactions, just for her to end up with her heart broken when she realized that that person wasn't looking for, or wasn't even seeking, or didn't have no intentions on giving her anything that she needed, because they was only trying to get their needs met. Okay, so that's where we come with why put all your eggs in one basket, because that's what she did. She started Yes I Am, and I'm reading from the book that I wrote that I'm talking about right now. She started from meeting him, instant connection, talking on the phone, great conversation, all eggs in one basket, making all of these plans. And then here we are now where she's feeling bad about it. She realizes he doesn't feel the same. She's back at the bottom of the totem pole, back at square one, and that she doesn't have anything that's gonna make her feel good about herself. She's going to be doubting herself, talking down herself, blaming herself for the interest that was never a real interest, but she thought it was real from the beginning. Why? Because she put all her eggs in one basket. She did not have any other options. She was not talking to any other man. So when this one man did not give her what she was looking for, this hurt her feelings. This would not have happened had all the eggs not been in one basket. Okay, a lot of people want to have a relationship and they want to put their focus on finding the one, but that is the reason why the one is not coming, because your focus is off. You need to just focus on your happiness. Change up your focus. Focus on your happiness. Focus on finally connecting with the person that's going to do everything they can in the power to keep you happy. That's what you need to do. But if you keep going out there putting your energy into a relationship, trying to be with somebody just so you don't feel lonely, and you want the loneliness to go away, well, that's why you keep getting the results that you're looking for. You're moving too fast. You don't have a goal, and you're picking up speed, going nowhere. Okay. So now before you dive in, you got to understand your needs first. This is what I'm talking about. This is why it didn't work, because she jumped into this thinking that this man wanted all those things. Those were her needs. Those were not his needs. So therefore, she thought started planning dates. She has a need for a date. She want to go on dates, so she has needs for going on cute dates. He doesn't have that need at all. So that's why he wasn't going to work to fulfill it, because that wasn't his need. That was her need. She had a need for them to spend more time together, do other things. That wasn't his need. His needs was beyond that. So he didn't fulfill her needs. Her needs were left unmet, and therefore, again, go back to the drawing board with her feelings hurt. She took the focus off her needs and put the focus on trying to keep the man. So therefore, in her doing that, she forgot how to keep herself and lost herself in the process of trying to keep this man. So now let's talk about Tammy's story. And I'm going to read Tammy's story verbatim as it comes out of the book, because I want you to hear the story. I'm not going to give you a rough draft of it. Tammy always had a habit of falling hard, thinking every dude could be the one, as most women do. But real talk, she never really took the time to figure out what she needed before diving back into dating. Very important. So when she matched with Devin on a dating app, it was all good vibes at first. They clicked right away, bonded over their messy divorces and the fact they both had no kids. They found some commonalities quite early. Tammy felt like she finally found someone who got her. This is what women do. We'll see a couple of similarities in a man, and we'll exploit those and think that this is now the one, because we feel like this is the one. He's the only option now. You haven't been able to compare him to anybody else, but he's the only option. So you get these great traits, great conversation, and you automatically put your mind to thinking that he is the one. Okay. He had all the right words and she was soaking it all up. Love bombing, because that's what you do when you love bomb. Their first date, straight fire. They vibed over dinner, talked about everything from their favorite jam to their crazy ass exes. Tammy was feeling the chemistry and it felt deep. And after dinner, they hit up a spot for drinks, got a little high. Things that you should not do on the first date is incorporate any type of drugs or alcohol, because it lowers your inhibitions and then you may be making decisions that you would not rather make had you been sober. So they hit up a spot for drinks, got a little high. Before they knew it, they were all up in each other's space. They hooked up that night, and Tammy was already daydreaming about how this could turn into something solid. For the next few weeks, Devin kept that same energy, showering her with attention and pulling her in. Their dates were lit, always ending with some bomb sex. In her head, Tammy was already cuffed and wiped up, thinking Devin felt the same way. This is what women do. This is how we get our feelings hurt, by thinking like this so prematurely. But then Devin started switching up. The text slowed down, and dude wasn't as pressed to see her like before. Tammy had already dropped her other options, so it was just Devin. She had nobody else. She just cut everybody off, put all her eggs in one basket with Devin. But she thinking that she was locked in with him, but then she started seeing the truth. He was still out there playing the field, as Devin should be, because that is the whole purpose of this. Why would he put all his eggs in one basket? Because she slept with him that soon. Devin's not that fool, that type of a dumb man. So he saw how Tammy was moving. He allowed her to move like that, but he wasn't putting all his eggs in one basket for her. That's what she did for him. But that is what women will foolishly do after one great night, one great date, some too soon sex. Then all of your eggs are in one basket, and then boom, now you liking somebody who don't even like you like that. Okay, so after that, it hit her hard that she didn't even check what her needs were before falling into this. She wanted love and commitment, but Devin wasn't about that life. She was giving him everything, but he wasn't giving her what she needed. Eventually, she was left feeling drained and played. Devin hit her with the love bomb, then ghosted, leaving her to deal with the fallout while he bounced before things got real. The whole mess showed Tammy that before jumping into roster dating, she needed to figure out what she truly wanted. She needed to figure out what she truly needed. And then she realized that understanding her needs was a key to avoiding heartbreak in the future. This is what I'm talking about. Tammy, so let's give a rundown if you're just getting in. Tammy met Devin on a dating app after she just came from out of a tumultuous marriage or relationship. She's jumping back into dating. She has not did a self-evaluation. She has not assessed her needs, but she thinks that she need to jump on the next man. So she gets back out there and she starts dating. She meets Devin through a dating app. They have great chemistry through the dating app. Mind you now, the only thing that's is between them now is either a computer or a phone and an app. And because the chemistry was so great in Tammy's view through chatting and an app, that they decided to transition this to a real date in person. On the first date, the date was great. Devin said all the right things. They had a lot of fun. They went out. They ended up going to go have some weed, going to have some drinks. Tammy done got herself, got beside herself. She's high. She's a little bit inebriated. So now she makes the decision to go and sleep with Devin afterwards. Now, this is their first date. This is first night, and Tammy's ready to jump into bed because I told you she's already made up in her mind that Devin is the one. This is what women do. So she's ready to give up the pants. She gave up the pants early, and then for the next few weeks, Devin continued to shower her with affection and attention. She continued to give up her draws. Devin put in minimal effort. All he did was pay for some dates that led back to smoking and drinking because he knows that lowers Tammy's inhibitions. And then it always led to great sex. But after a couple of weeks of that, see, Devin doesn't like her. He did it for as long as he could do it. But after a couple of weeks, because there was nothing else that he liked about her, he started, the real version of Devin showed up. Because the whole time it's been his representative. That's what love bombed Tammy. That's what showed Tammy all those things. It was the representative of Devin. But the real version showed up, and Devin didn't like Tammy like that. So Devin started pulling away. The real version showed up. Devin started doing what Devin doing. Devin started going back on dates with other women. Devin started doing his thing. And what was Tammy over there doing? Twiddling her fingers, checking social media, checking text messages to see if Devin was going to text. And Devin had to moved on because he had already got his intentions with Tammy was to have sex with her. And the quicker it happened, the better for him. So he already fulfilled his needs. Needs was already met by Tammy. Tammy needs are unmet. Devin's not going to feel them, and now Devin is in the win. Tammy has just added another body to her body count. She was racing so fast to get to the finish line of a relationship that now she is single, her vagina is wet, and her feelings are hurt. This is what happens with ladies when they put all their eggs in one basket too soon because of some surface level chemistry. And when I say surface level, that's all it can be. You've only had a conversation. You see you have some things in common. Surface level. You've never had this person in a real incident to see how they really act. You don't know how they act with stress. You don't know how they act when they mad. All you have seen them is surface level stuff, and you like what you see on the surface. Deep down under the surface is the real version of every person. If you never get under the surface, I do not know how you said that you like somebody, love somebody, or you had sex with somebody. You did not get deep enough. Now, if you are a surface level one night stand person and you've made that clear to somebody, then go ahead and do that. But that's you as a woman, because a man is not going to tell you that he only in it for the sex. Men don't, they're not going to, it's only a few men that's going to be honest with you about that. Everything else you have to pick up on your own. Okay? So that's not what men are out here to do. Just be like, hey, nice to meet you, Tammy. Yeah, I was thinking about, I just want to know how great it to be having sex with you. And then Tammy, it doesn't happen like that. But that is what some of them only want to do because that's the only interest they see. Tammy was that. She took meaningful surface level attraction and chemistry, took it deeper than that, had sex with Devin too soon, continued to have sex with Devin, and when Devin got tired of having sex with Tammy or got tired of playing this game, the real him showed up and he walked away, and Tammy feelings was hurt, left behind. Let's reflect on what Tammy did. Let's reflect on the whole situation. Now ask yourself, what did Tammy do wrong? Let's do that. What did Tammy do wrong? Let's talk about it now. And then what were Tammy's needs that she did not recognize that needed to be met? Okay, so the only thing Tammy did wrong is two things she did wrong. The first one being Tammy mixed up sex with love. That's the biggest mistake that a lot of women make. They think that sex is emotional for men. It's emotional for women. It's not emotional for men. It is an experience for men. It is emotional for women. Tammy's mistake was she thought she used sex and turned it into love. And she fell hard for somebody who was only giving her surface level vibes. She had not dug deep. She had not seen any other versions of him but his representative. And his representative showed up and showed out. But then the other version of him showed up. And then that didn't show out. It actually walked away. Okay? The real issue, her second biggest issue, she did not know what she needed from a man before she gave him her body. Now she feels bad. She has added another body to her body count. Her needs are unmet. Had Tammy knew what she needed from a man, Tammy wouldn't have felt so bad. So let's talk about everything that happened in this story to make them recognize the things that happened. The first one being love bombing. Tammy was love bombed by Devin, and it was so easy for him to do it because, for one, he met her through a dating app. A lot of women think that when they use dating apps to date, that they feel empowered because they have options, but they don't understand. Sometimes the men on the other end of those dating apps are looking at women who are using this tool to date as desperate. And if that man thinks you're desperate, then it doesn't matter what you do. You're never going to change his opinion of you, but he is going to move with you how he wants to move with you. That's that. Desperation. Many men who are on dating apps think women who are on dating apps are there because they are desperate. They have no other options. They can't go outside to meet nobody. Don't nobody else want them. So they resort to a dating app. Those are the women that get played more often. Risa Tisa. I know y'all remember Risa Tisa. She met that man that she fell for and married through Facebook dating. And what did he do? Through Facebook dating, through surface level communication with Risa Tisa, he found holes in her self-esteem. And he used them to his advantage. And he filled those holes with lies. And he made Risa Tisa feel really good about herself. He used her, dragged her along, moved into her house, and did all of those things to her. Guess what? When she went to TikTok and made a story about it, now they have made a movie about it. She has a movie. It's called Who the Fuck Did I Marry? That's what a dating app did for her. She got you, because that's what happens with men on dating apps. He saw a void in a woman whose self-esteem or self-assurance or self-worth was through the ground. She don't love herself. That's how he saw. He asked her certain questions in her chat to get certain answers so he can see how he can gauge this to see what he needed to do to spin this in his favor. And that's what he did. Ladies, men will ask you certain questions throughout your interactions in the beginning, whether through text or on the phone, before you even get to the first date, just to gauge your answer to see where your mind is. Because if you're not answering what it would seem like as if your self-esteem is high, then he know exactly what he got to do to be able to pull you in and get you to where he want to get you to really quick. You don't know that though, because you go in thinking you need to be answering these questions. Especially questions about exes. When they ask you why y'all broke up and you go into this long story, you're telling him everything he needs to know. You're telling him how the man use your knowledge. You're giving him too much information. He's going to use it against you because that's what people do. Okay? So love bombing. Let's talk about love bombing. It has been a tactic that has been going on since the beginning of time. Love bombing is a manipulative tactic in which an individual, man or woman, overwhelms their partner with excessive affection, attention, compliments, and gifts early in the relationship. Love bombing can happen within the first 6 months. It'll seem like the perfect first 3 weeks, perfect first 3 months, perfect first 6 months. You'll be getting all the gifts, going on all the dates, getting all the compliments, getting cards, flowers, and all of these nice things that you probably never got with nobody else. Remember, some men are looking to gauge those women when they meet them based on conversations. So remember, you've been chatting with this person, telling them things that you don't even realize that they finna use against you. So you told him that you never had flowers sent to you. Guess what? Now he's going to love bomb you by sending you flowers. You just told him what you never had. So if I know you never had, I'm finna send you some flowers because I know that's going to get you. I'm going to be able to lock you in like that. That's why you can't be doing stuff like that, y'all. Sometimes y'all talk too much on the surface level. You get them all type of ideas, and they go and do those things, and you think that he was being thoughtful. But no, he was doing everything to build you up to the love bomb because he knew he was not finna be keeping you alone. His intentions was to have sex with you, but in order to get you comfortable enough to have sex with him, he has to love bomb you, give you things that you've told him that you've never had, show you a lot of affection and attention, give you gifts, take you on dates, and as soon as you give him what he wants, he's out. That is love bombing. It happens to men and women, but it happens more to women because women go into dating being desperate. Women go into dating because they feel like it's their end all be all. If I don't get with somebody right now, I'm going to die alone. Women can't, for whatever reason, a lot of them won't wrap their mind around it. A lot of them won't be married. They may never get a chance to get married, and that's okay. But for them, that's torture. So the desperation is what allows men to take those surface level answers and use them against them. You think it's just surface level. He knows that's your love language, silly. And he knows if he can speak to you through your love language, silly, that you're eventually going to make love to him, silly, very soon, silly. That's what they do. And when you can't recognize it, that is what's done in love bombing, okay? So it is tempting when you meet somebody, when y'all have great conversation, whether in person or on offline or whatever. It's tempting for you to go right into trying to include them into all your plans. You want to dive in head first. You want to open up your full heart and let them have access to every part of you. You want to answer every text message you want. That's typical. But you got to stop yourself because that's what's setting you up to be used. That's what's setting you up for somebody to love bomb you because you just showed them how easy it is to get your attention. If I told you that I've never been on dates, somebody has ever asked me on a date and brought me flowers, and then in a week you come and ask me on a date to bring me flowers, I'm going to think that you're so special. I'm going to think that you heard everything I said. And then what am I going to do after that? Then I'm going to start sitting down and trying to plan our next date and plan how I'm going to make love to you. This is what I will do because you have love bombed me. You have saw that my love language is words of affirmation. So now you're affirming through words and actions by buying me flowers and taking me on dates. And I think I'm special now. So now I'm ready to give in. It's only been one date. I'm ready to give in. I give in. And guess what? You tap out. That's what happens. Because it's surface level. Okay? So, early infatuation and lust can blind you in some serious red flags. Okay? When you go in with that desperate stuff, and you are so ready to have something real and something deep, and then you become immediately infatuated with this person, now you start ignoring red flags. The baby mama that keep calling his phone or texting his phone, the fact that he told you something about he had lost his job and he hasn't been looking for a job. It's so many red flags are dismissed and ignored once your infatuation sets in. And that's because you moved too fast, too soon, put all your eggs in one basket, thought this was going to be your forever. And here you are left in the end with the reality of it again. Again, another example, Risa Tisa. Okay? Now, when Tammy realized that she needed to do a needs assessment, because Tammy went into dating not knowing what her needs were. Tammy had a need for compliments. Tammy had a need for quality time. Tammy had a need for special dates. Tammy also had a need for affection. Tammy also had a need for love. Tammy had a need for somebody to sit down and listen to her when she's talking uninterrupted. Tammy had a need for hugs because Tammy feels overly loved when she's getting hugged. I had just called out 7 needs that Tammy had that she did not put in the forefront when she was with Devin. So when she got with Devin, all Devin did was fulfill the need of dates. Because he took her on a date. He took her on some special dates. So he fulfilled that need. Because she forgot all her other needs and she thought that those dates was just top tier, Tammy used those dates as a means for her to make a decision to have sex with Devin too soon. Not realizing she still had other needs that Devin had not met. On the other side, Devin's only need was to have a great experience with the sex with the new person. That was the only need Devin had. Because Devin needs was taken care of by all the women he was dealing with. Tammy just did not know that because she did not ask the right questions. So she did not even know that Devin was dealing with other women. Why? Because she went in, surface level connection. She didn't ask the right questions. She became infatuated really quick. She gave up the draws really quick. She didn't even know that Devin had other women on his roster. and she had just added herself to his roster. And when Devin got tired of her being on his roster, then he exited her off, as he should. So the danger of prematurely going in and being exclusive is that sometimes jumping into commitment too quick because you're being love bombed can throw everything off balance. Okay, it doesn't allow the man to be in his masculine energy. It doesn't allow you to stay in your feminine energy. The balance is off. In order for a union to be balanced out, there has to be masculine and feminine energy. It cannot be two feminines. It cannot be two masculines. I don't care what anybody says. If you look at the dynamics of every relationship, whether they're a homosexual relationship or a heterosexual, there is always somebody that has masculine and somebody that's all supposed to have feminine. Okay? You've never seen two feminine energies get together. They never last. It's too much feminine. Two masculines get together, they never last. It's too much masculine. So the balance is masculine, feminine. Okay? When you start doing exclusive, premature, making somebody the one very too soon, then you unbalance that. Because remember, men do the work. Men chase. That's what men do. When women start being desperate, they start chasing. So now she just moved into masculine energy, and now they off balance. Because he not gonna do that. But guess what? He stepped back like a woman. Because he not gonna do that. You see what I'm saying? It's a different dynamic now. Where if he was chasing and she stepped back as a woman and allowed him to come to her and show her, it will be balanced. But that's not what's going on. Women becoming so desperate, trying to get to the end goal of being married just to be married, to show everybody around them that somebody wanted to marry them. So that leads to them being desperate. And what happens? Feminine energy escapes, masculine energy enters. Now she has a goal. She's hustling to get a man, and she's now on her masculine energy because she's doing everything that a man would do. How can Tammy flip the script on love bombing and use it in her favor? That is a great question. Because, see, y'all assume love bombing was bad. It can be if you don't know how to use it in your favor. That's Tammy's problem. She wasn't able to use love bombing to get her needs met. That is how you get your needs met. When somebody is love bombing you, and you can clearly tell, because you'll be able to tell. You know when somebody love bombing you, they are giving you all this time, all this affection, all these things that you think is just top tier, but it just came out the blue all of a sudden. So you should know that you're being love bombed. So you should know that there is an end goal that man has. Unless he's a different type of man, the end goal is he trying to get you in the bed. Okay? That's what the whole purpose of the love bombing. He trying to get you to do something that he wants you to do that's going to benefit him. Not necessarily benefit you. That's the purpose of the love bomb. So once you recognize that you are being love bombed, you need to use it to your advantage. Don't be upset, sad, mad, and all that stuff for what? That's putting you in masculine energy. Stay in feminine energy. Use love bombing in your favor. You have a bunch of needs. That's the whole purpose. So if you're going to be love bombed by one man, why don't you drop that one man, go pick up 5, have your needs, allow them to love bomb and fulfill all your needs. There it is. Remember we talked about it from the beginning? Harry, Johnny, Trey, Darius, and Tony. Okay? They all fulfill the need. When you know what your needs are, those men can fulfill them, and you can use roster dating in your favor instead of you feeling so bad. The only thing that will not change is you're not sleeping with none of them, because you don't want to involve sexual energy into something that could possibly make you lose your life. You don't know him yet. You haven't learned his mental. So we're not just finna just be like, oh, we finna give up some coochie to somebody who may be turning crazy tomorrow and you may be dead before you even get out of bed to wake up from the night of sex. No, we're not going to do that because we don't know. Sex change people. People change after sex. They become either crazier or they just don't care. The problem is before you put sex into it, get your needs met. Okay? Communicate your expectations. All right? So if you have expectations, you want to discuss those early on. Do not be shy. I think a lot of times women don't talk about their expectations because they be so scared they're going to run somebody off. Okay, if they run, let them run. The only thing that's going to chase them is some dogs and the police. You're not chasing them. So don't even worry about that. Let them run, okay? Discuss your expectations early. I expect us to go on a date every Friday night. I expect us to have brunch every Sunday. I expect to see you every Tuesday. Those are expectations you have based on your needs. So develop them, okay? Let him know. Then set your boundaries. Remember I told you about things that you will not tolerate? That's what boundaries are. You told him you expect to have a date every Friday night. He doesn't call you, but he hit you up on Saturday morning. He has just did something that you told him that you did not expect. And while you're appreciative of it, you had a boundary. You want him to stay within the boundary of Friday night. He didn't do that. So guess what? You could be upset and take him off your roster. I'm just giving you an example. It's a dumb reason, but that is a boundary. When somebody does something that you absolutely will not tolerate, you cut them off. That is the boundary. Limitation, that we already talked about that. The boundaries is, if you do this, then this will happen. Because that's something that you're not tolerating. Okay? You want to pace the relationship. Because this is how I'm telling you to use love bombing in your favor. I said the first thing you want to do is communicate your expectations, discuss them early, and set your boundaries. Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to pace the relationship. Stop rushing. You don't need to rush. Take your time. Slow down. Slow down on physical intimacy and all. Stop giving up your body just because he spoke to your love language after one date. Your body is not up for grabs by the end. It should not even be on the table, even a conversation. Slow down. Take your time. Okay? Another thing to do is show genuine interest without overcommitting. Something that women do not know how to do, okay? Their interest would include them overcommitting to too much. Now you cleaning this man's house. Now you cooking this man food. Now you doing too much. You're doing too much again. I told y'all to stop always doing so much. So show genuine interest without overcommitting, okay? Be present, not overwhelming. Do not aggravate him, but let him know your presence is there. Use it in your advantage. He calls you and tells you, you call him and tell him that you want something, and he says that he doesn't want to do it right now. Remove your presence until he does it. Presence is everything. Learn how to use it to your advantage. Okay? Keep communication balanced. Okay? Respond to text messages as they come. Answer calls as they come. Do not oversend text messages. Do not over text somebody. Do not over call somebody. Now you're finna run them away because you too needy. And that's showing that you have a need for validation. And I told you in your needs assessment, you should identify that need. You want to be validated through constant communication. Unfortunately, every man is not going to appeal to that need because that need is too much for some women. Y'all want too much communication, and sometimes it overwhelms the man. So you'll be dropped. If you understood your needs, you would know how to keep communication balanced. You should not be doing the over texting, the overreaching, and the over calling. Because now you're finna overstay your welcome in somebody's life and they can't wait to get rid of you. Maintain femininity with dependence. Stay in your feminine energy, but still be dependent on that man. I know y'all was been taught about this independent, all the single ladies, independent, whatever that song is, remove it from your repertoire. Get it off your mind. We are not doing anything independent no more. That is the reason why we are in the place that we are right now. Some of y'all got too independent when you thought you didn't need a man. And you do. And that has to stop. Because then you started acting like you ain't need a man. You started talking to men in any kind of way. You started treating men in any kind of way. And then what it did was, in turn, it got you being talked to, treated any kind of way. So now we're back at square one. What goes around comes around. Whatever you put into the universe, it comes back to you. So that's where we at right now. Okay? So please, be dependent. Yes, you still need a man. I refuse to reach up there and change the light bulb of a ceiling fan when there is a taller man that can do it for me. Why would I stress myself when somebody taller than me can do it? Yes, I need a man. Can I get a footstool? Of course, but why would I hassle myself when there's a tall man that can reach it already? You're not understanding where I'm coming from. Yes, I know I need a man. Let's go back into that. You need to be, you need a man, and you need to stop over-investing. Again, giving too much too soon. Over-investing too soon, we're going to always leave you with hurt feelings. And you're going to always feel like the bad end of the stick, okay? Remember, we're learning how to use love bombing in our favor, okay? This is what I'm telling you. Next, assess mutual investment. In order to make sure that you use the love bombing in your favor, you have to make sure that the person is a reciprocity. Check reciprocity. Make sure that the person is reciprocating the same energy and effort that you are. Because why would you be giving effort when somebody else is not giving it? That's asinine, and that wastes time. Avoid serious conversations. Now, it is too early for you to be sitting down talking about where y'all finna be in 5 years. No. We don't even know what's finna happen in 5 days. The next 5 hours. So 5 years, serious conversations are off the table. Do not have them. You're not having sex with them. You should not be into serious conversations. But people like this right now, we're still dating. There is nothing serious about dating. Dating is dating. Yeah, I got to stop taking the seriousness out of dating. Seriousness starts with courting. Right now, we're still dating. All right? Be honest with yourself. Remember I told you about the self-evaluation? When you be honest, when you evaluate yourself, evaluate your feelings, you're going to be able to use them to your advantage because you're going to actually know how to utilize them in a way that's going to get you the results that you're looking for. A lot of women don't know how to use their feelings to a great advantage, so they get played over. Evaluate your feelings. Learn how to validate your own feelings and use it to your advantage. Recognize red flags when they pop up. Get out of there. It's going to be a constant thing that we're going to hear throughout this entire journey. Red flags, we cut people off and they do not go to the roster. They have to go. All right. Self-awareness and reflection. One more thing. Understand your purpose. If you don't know your purpose, if you don't know the purpose of why you're trying to date, if you don't have one, know your purpose. You have to have a purpose for it all. What is your purpose? Is it to be married? Is it to have fun right now? Is it to just live a hot life? What is your purpose? And then let that be your intentions. And don't be afraid to walk away, please. It's roster dating for a reason. Options. When something is not right, drop the option, pick up another one. It's very easy. You do not have to settle. That's the reason why people are settling. They don't have options. You're about to make yourself have options. All right. Now, the next thing that needs to be done is a needs assessment. And we talked about this gravely in detail already, but this chapter goes into it and gives you an actual needs assessment for you to complete. You have to know what your needs are. In order for you to successfully use love bombing as a tool to get your needs met, you first need to know what your needs are. A needs assessment is basically figuring out what you want and need from a man before you even start dating. Very important. It's about making sure you know what's going to make you feel good. That's emotionally, that's mentally, that's physically, and that's spiritually. What makes you jump for joy? You don't know that until you do a needs assessment. Right now, you're just going off what you think you want and need. And then you end up not feeling fulfilled because all of your needs are still unmet. Doing a needs assessment keeps you in control because now you know exactly what it is that you need to be going after when you're talking to these men. So you want to take your time, you want to write it down, and you want to review regularly. Needs assessment is not something that needs to be done one time in life. A needs assessment needs to be done literally every 6 months. Thank you. You need to do it every 6 months. Why? Because in the event, your needs are going to change. Your needs are always going to change. If you are unfamiliar with your needs, and your needs are going to be unmet. Your needs what you needed 6 months ago, you do not need today. 6 months ago, you might have needed a job. Today, you might need to retire. You see what I'm saying? 6 months ago, you may have needed a job. 6 months in the future, you may be ready to retire. Needs change throughout the course of the year. So it's important that you do a needs assessment on a regular basis. Review it, go through it, and make sure that your needs are being met. Okay? There are certain questions that you need to answer, and it goes into detail. Let me give you an example. What are my deal breakers? You need to know, again, remember I told you about those tolerations? Remember I told you about those tolerations, those boundaries? What are your deal breakers? You need to be able to know that. You know, how do you feel about commitment at this stage in your life? Are you ready to commit? Do you want to commit, or do you want to keep playing the field and roster dating? You need to know about that because, see, you keep going to stuff, ladies, wanting to get a man and get married, but then you're not even really sure that you want to be married because then when a thought presents itself, you go back to, nah, I still want to go outside. You need to make a decision. Are you really ready for commitment, or do you just want to have date to have fun? Be serious, okay? You need to also know your emotional needs. If you don't know your emotional needs, how can a man fulfill your emotional needs? These are things that you need and have to answer in your needs assessment. Things about what do I hope to gain from dating right now? What is it that you want to gain? Do you want to gain fun? Do you want to gain perspective? Do you want to gain, hopefully get to a courtship to get married? What do you want to gain? Because everybody has a different gain from dating. Some people date so that they can just have sex with multiple people. That's just what they want to gain. Okay? What is the end all be all for you dating right now? Another question, what role does physical intimacy play in your relationship goals? How important is physical intimacy? Because you can meet a great partner tomorrow and they could be bad in the bedroom. Are you willing to recognize that they're a great partner before you walk away because they don't know how to please you in a bedroom? What are you willing to do? You know what I'm saying? You got to know this. Then you got personal boundaries. How do I feel about how do I handle feelings of jealousy and insecurity? What do you do when you're with dating a man and you see him talking to another woman, you get a little bit jealous? How do you handle that? Because he's not your man now. You're just dating. But he is talking to somebody else, and you do feel a little bit of jealousy. Well, how do you get over that? How do you handle that? Because you can't let him know you're jealous because that's not your man. And you finna run him away because now you're a basket case. Because how are you jealous about somebody that's not even yours? That's what they're going to act. That's what I would ask. So how do you handle feelings of jealousy and insecurity? When a man is talking to a woman that may be more beautiful for you, in your opinion, and she has a better body, you're going to start feeling insecure. But remember, y'all just dated. So you can't tell him, well, Johnny, I don't want you talking to her. You just dated, so Johnny can talk to anybody he wants to, even while y'all on a date. Y'all not married. There are no rules to this. So in the event that you start feeling insecure, how are you going to handle that? What are you going to do? Because it can show all over your face that you're insecure. It can come out through your words, and then now Johnny don't even want to date you no more because he just heard all that insecure mess come out your mouth, and he not even your man. So these are things that you have to answer in your needs assessment. You will never know what your needs are and how they need to be met if you cannot identify them. So use your needs assessment as a guiding tool in your dating journey. Before we roster date and do all of those things, before you get your heart broken, your coochie took by several different men and none of them like you, know what your needs are. And before you think that love bombing is a bad thing, learn how to use love bombing as a way to get your needs met. Okay? If Johnny is going to be willing to overextend himself, allow him to. Don't stop him. Allow him to overextend himself. And don't you feel bad about it. Now all of a sudden you got a heart or you got a conscience. We're not having that. Because when women are overextending themselves, men don't say, dang, man, I feel bad because I'm treating her bad. Nope. They keep going. They keep going to get everything they need to get. Because they got to get all their needs met. So you need to do the same thing. If Johnny overextends himself, allow him to. And if that means that he meets all of your needs, then he may be the one. Tune in tomorrow for our next topic. Never date just once, sis. Y'all have a great day.